Imagine a place where all the knowledge of the ancient world was stored. Maps detailing unknown lands, texts from sages unraveling the secrets of the universe, and accounts of forgotten civilizations. That place existed, the Library of Alexandria. But its fate remains one of history's greatest mysteries. What really happened to this sanctuary of knowledge? Was it destroyed in a devastating fire, looted by invaders, or simply a myth that never existed on the grand scale we imagine? Get ready to unravel an enigma that has fascinated the world for centuries. Chapter 1. The Dream of Alexandria. Founded in the 3rd century BCE by the Ptolemaic dynasty in Egypt, the Library of Alexandria was not just a collection of books. It was an ambitious project of universal knowledge. Located in Alexandria, a city bustling with cultural and commercial activity, the library aimed to gather every written work from the known world. Ships docking at its port were temporarily requisitioned to copy any texts they carried, thereby expanding its vast archive. It is said to have housed hundreds of thousands of scrolls, including works by Greek philosophers like Aristotle and Plato, Babylonian treatises on mathematics and astronomy, Indian medical texts, and religious writings from all cultures. The library didn't just store knowledge. It was also a research center where scholars worked to advance science and philosophy. It was a monumental dream, a place where ideas from the past, present, and future converged. But, like all great dreams, it had enemies. Who would destroy something so valuable? That's the question that has baffled historians for centuries. Chapter 2. The Great Fire? A questionable tale. The most famous account of the Library of Alexandria's destruction is the story of the Great Fire. According to a popular version, the fire occurred during Julius Caesar's conquest of Alexandria in 48 BCE. During a naval battle, flames spread to the port and allegedly reached the library, consuming its literary treasures in a matter of hours. But is this true? Modern historians question this version of events. While Caesar mentioned a fire that affected the port's warehouses, there is no conclusive evidence that the library was involved. Moreover, the library's size and scope make it unlikely that all its contents could have been destroyed at once. Could part of its collection have survived, hidden somewhere? Some believe the fire was just one of several tragedies that befell the library. Others suggest the library was already in decline long before Caesar's arrival. So, what really happened? Chapter 3. The Hands of Conquerors. Alexandria's strategic location made it a coveted target for successive empires. The Romans, Christians, and later the Arabs all occupied the city. Each had their own priorities and beliefs about the knowledge stored in the library. During the 4th century, under the Roman Empire, Christians led by Patriarch Theophilus allegedly destroyed pagan temples in Alexandria. Some believe the library, seen as a symbol of paganism, may have been destroyed during this period. But, as with Caesar's fire, there is no definitive proof this happened. Later, in the 7th century, the Arab conquest of Egypt brought another theory. According to legend, Caliph Omar ordered the library's destruction, saying that if the texts contained anything already in the Quran, they were unnecessary, and if they contradicted it, they were dangerous. However, historians have debated the authenticity of this story, as the sources mentioning it are late and unreliable. What is clear is that ancient texts were valuable spoils of war. Many manuscripts may have been stolen, sold, or taken to other regions, leaving the library empty and forgotten. Chapter 4. A magnified myth? Some historians argue that the Library of Alexandria may not have existed on the grand scale we imagine. They claim that, while it might have been a great center of knowledge, the idea of a universal collection of texts is more a romantic myth than historical reality. In this version, the library was not destroyed in a single catastrophic event but declined gradually due to a lack of funding, changing political priorities, and natural decay over time. Fragile scrolls, stored in less than ideal conditions, would have succumbed to climate and neglect. However, the lack of definitive evidence hasn't stopped dreamers. The image of a library containing all the lost knowledge of humanity remains one of the most powerful in our collective imagination. Chapter 5. What if something survived? One of the most intriguing questions is whether part of the Library of Alexandria's collection might have survived. Some theories suggest that certain texts were moved to other libraries, like the Library of Pergamum, or even remote monasteries during the Middle Ages. While many of these texts may be lost forever, it's possible that some fragments remain hidden, waiting to be rediscovered. In 1972, a small manuscript containing fragments of ancient Greek texts was found in Egypt. Although there was no evidence linking it to Alexandria, the discovery fueled hope that we might one day recover some of the lost knowledge. Even in the modern era, the spirit of the Library of Alexandria lives on. Projects like UNESCO's initiatives and the Modern Library of Alexandria aim to rebuild the dream of universal knowledge, even if we can never fully recover what was lost. A mystery that lives on. The Library of Alexandria is an enigma that blends history, myth, and human aspiration. Its destruction, whatever the cause, reminds us of how fragile knowledge can be and the importance of preserving it. But beyond what was lost, its legacy inspires us to keep seeking, learning, and dreaming of a world where all of humanity's knowledge is within reach. What do you think? Do you believe part of Alexandria's knowledge might still be waiting to be discovered? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to explore more fascinating mysteries of our history. Because as long as there are questions, there will be stories to tell.